Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to CG Reaction. This is still think America is weak? Again, who thinks that? Seriously, who thinks that? It's gonna be interesting. Let's watch this one.
Morning. 6 hours ago, a sanctioned Russian oil tanker pushed into the Gulf of Finland with a Russian warship leading the escort. The sanctions they are now breaking were written in Washington. Washington takes that kind of thing personally. And the French frigate that was supposed to stop it just turned around and went home. The Russian captain laughed.
It's French.
He believes Europe has surrendered. He is correct about Europe. Americans do not surrender. 2 weeks ago, a Russian Shadow Fleet tanker was
I like how this story starts with French giving up. All right.
boarded in these same waters. French customs seized 100,000 barrels of sanctioned crude. Moscow lost its mind on live television. Then, Moscow made an announcement. Russian Shadow Fleet tankers would now
I don't think Putin was crying there. There was either rain or sweat. Yeah.
sail with armed Russian Navy escorts. The message was simple. Try to board our tankers again and find out what a missile corvette thinks about that. Europe's response was exactly what you would expect from a continent that takes 6 months to agree on a lunch menu. Finland grounded its border helicopters. Estonia kept its patrol boats tied to the dock. Sweden watched from 40 miles away through binoculars while writing condemnation letter. And France, the country that was supposed to enforce the sanctions, recalled its frigate before it even made visual contact. Europe did not just blink. Europe closed both eyes, rolled over, and didn't even ask Moscow to buy dinner first. Moscow celebrated. The first escort run went perfectly. Nobody stopped them. Nobody even tried. Russia declared the sanctions are now broken. For about 90 minutes, Russia was right. Captain second rank Viktor Orlov stands on the bridge of the Russian corvette Stoiky. He is having the finest morning of his naval career. His ship is a Staragushchi-class corvette, anti-ship missiles, a 100mm deck cannon, and enough point defense systems to make any helicopter pilot rethink his retirement plan. Behind him, the tanker Ust-Luga Star follows at 8 knots. She is carrying 700,000 barrels of sanctioned Russian crude oil. She is worth roughly $100 million in cargo alone. And right now, she is sailing through NATO waters like she is a VIP. Orlov has already radioed Baltisk Naval Base twice. Both times, the same 2 words. Mission nominal. He checks his radar display. Finnish Coast Guard cutter, 18 miles north, sitting still. Swedish corvette, 42 miles west, also sitting still. French frigate, gone. Turned south 3 hours ago. The entire European naval response to Russia's little dare is a collection of ships that are either parked, retreating, or deeply hoping someone else handles this. Orlov sips his tea. He is already planning the dinner he will have when they clear the Danish Straits. He is
Okay, I'm not gonna pause too much, but I just have to say this. This channel is the only channel so far I've found where the stories feel real. Things like this happened recently, right? About Shadow Fleet of Russia and America seizing it. So is this real? Because every time I question, like, is this one of those stories? Or is this real? Or mass up of two things? I mean, it could be like somewhat of a fiction, but based on a real story.
already rehearsing how he will describe this mission to his admiral. He is not thinking about what sits 30 meters below his keel. This is an error. The Gulf of Finland is shallow water, average depth 70 feet. For most submarines, this is a death trap. For a Virginia-class Block 4, this is the exact swimming pool she was designed to play in. The USS New Jersey, commissioned 2024, is one of the newest attack submarines in the United States Navy. Her sonar suite can track a shrimp with a limp. Her crew has been trailing Orlov's convoy since it left Kaliningrad. They have matched his speed. They have mapped his radar sweeps. They have listened to every radio call he has made, including the 2 where he told Baltisk how smoothly everything was going. They have been patient. They have been quiet. They have been waiting for a green light. The green light arrives at 9:14 local time. The captain of the USS New Jersey reads the order on his screen. Surface, position, directly ahead of the tanker. Make yourself visible. Do not engage the escort. He reads it again. Then he turns to his executive officer. How long do you think it takes them to notice? The XO does not hesitate. The tanker, immediately. She will have to emergency stop. And the Russian corvette, the XO grins. Let's find out. The convoy formation is simple. Stoiky leads. Ust-Luga Star tanker follows, 800 meters behind. Orlov keeps his corvette out front because threats come from the front. Surface ships, aircraft, patrol boats. He watches forward. He watches port. He watches starboard. He does not watch directly beneath the tanker's bow. Nobody watches there. Nothing comes from there. Except today. The ballast tanks blow. 7,900 tons of American steel rises from the Baltic like something the ocean has been keeping as a secret. Water pours off the black hull. The sail breaks the surface. The American flag catches the wind. The submarine sits 300 meters ahead of the tanker, dead center of her course line, not moving. The Ust-Luga Stars Bridge erupts.
Yes, submarine is such a deadly thing that it's like in a trench warfare. Everybody sees enemy with guns and things, but somehow you see a tank there looking at you and it's like, oh no. That's what submarine is in water. You can have all the type of ships and things, but when something like Virginia class comes out, things got real.
Erupts in alarms. The tanker captain slams engines to full reverse. 700,000 barrels of crude oil do not stop on command. The tanker groans. The tanker shudders. The tanker stops. Orlov does not notice. The Stoichky keeps sailing forward at 8 knots. His radar operator is looking ahead. His sonar operator is looking ahead. His entire bridge crew is looking ahead. Nobody is looking behind. Tanker wants to be safe, so they will stay close, is their thinking. 800 meters becomes 1,000. 1,000 becomes 1,500. 1,500 becomes 2,000. The most heavily armed escort in the Russian Baltic Fleet is now 2 kilometers ahead of the thing it is supposed to be escorting, sailing forward with absolute confidence, protecting empty ocean. He is the most expensive bodyguard in Russia, and his client is 2 kilometers behind him getting his pockets emptied. Somewhere on the Stoichky's bridge, a junior officer glances at his screen. The tanker's speed reads 0. He waits 3 full seconds because nobody wants to ruin a captain's good morning. Captain, the tanker has stopped. Orlov sets down his tea. What? Sir, there is a new surface contact directly in front of the tanker. Orlov grabs his binoculars. He turns around. He sees 700,000 barrels of crude oil sitting dead in the water. He sees 115 meters of black steel parked in front of it. He sees an American flag. His jaw tightens. His knuckles go white on the binoculars. He has been sailing away from his tanker for 4 minutes and 12 seconds. He has been escorting nothing. 70 seconds after the submarine surfaces, the sky fills with rotors. French Navy NH-90 helicopters. 3 of them. They are not coming from far away. They are coming from a French frigate sitting 18 miles to the south. The same French frigate that turned around and went home 3 hours ago. It did not go home. It repositioned. It was waiting. Orlov watches the helicopters scream past his bridge without a single acknowledgement. They do not slow down. They do not hail him. He is not relevant to their operation. They are not afraid of him. They fly directly to the tanker. Then the radio crackles. Channel 16, the International Maritime Emergency Frequency. Every vessel in the Gulf of Finland is listening. Every Coast Guard station from Helsinki to Tallinn. Every fishing trawler. Every naval attaché with a radio. The voice is American. It is warm. It is polite. It is the voice of a man who has been awake for 3 days and is somehow still in a better mood than anyone on the Stoichky. Stoichky, this is USS New Jersey. Just checking in. How is the escort going? Is your asset secure? A pause. Oh. Guess not. Another pause. French authorities will be boarding Ust-Luga Star momentarily. We recommend you hold your current position and enjoy the morning. We'll be here a while. That is the transmission. That is all of it. Calm, friendly, delivered on an open frequency monitored by every vessel, every base, and every intelligence service in Northern Europe. A united...
That's not what they would have said, even if they wanted to. That's theatrics, I get it. But like, wasn't there a news about a US submarine alongside other US ships capturing a lot of like Russian shadow fleet tankers very recently during Venezuela thing? Yeah.
United States submarine just asked a Russian warship captain on a public channel how his escort was going while his tanker sat dead in the water behind him with French helicopters circling overhead. Inside the Stoichky, nobody speaks. Orlov turns his ship around. He brings the Stoichky back toward the tanker. He stops 400 meters from the USS New Jersey. He cannot get closer. The submarine is parked between him and the tanker like a traffic cone that happens to carry Tomahawk cruise missiles. The French boarding takes 93 minutes. For 93 minutes, Orlov and his crew stare at an American flag 400 feet away. For 93 minutes, French sailors walk freely across the deck of the ship he was ordered to protect. For 93 minutes, his radio stays silent because anything he says on that channel will be recorded, transcribed, and quoted in every European newspaper by dinner. He says nothing. This is the only smart decision he makes all day. The French declare the Ust-Luga Star in violation of EU sanctions. They seize the cargo. They redirect the tanker to a French port under escort. Orlov watches the tanker, his mission, his commendation dinner turn west under a French flag. He radios Baltisk Naval Base. The report is no longer mission nominal. His admiral asks what happened. Orlov says the tanker paused voluntarily. His admiral asks why. Orlov says there was an obstruction in the shipping lane. His admiral asks what kind of obstruction. Orlov says American. There is a long silence. His admiral asks how long the tanker was stuck there. Orlov says 9.
I don't think that's how it would have gone. What happened? We don't have the tanker. American. That's all that would be like. They know already.
93 minutes. His admiral relieved asks where the stoichi was during those 93 minutes. Orlov says, maintaining a wider defensive perimeter. His admiral asks where the tanker is now. Orlov says, France. His admiral says nothing for 11 seconds. Then his admiral asks why the tanker is in France. Orlov says, the French invited it. His admiral has not blinked in 30 seconds. His admiral asks if Orlov was also invited to France. Orlov says, no. There is a very long silence. Somewhere in Baltisk, the next Shadow Fleet escort is quietly removed from the schedule. The USS New Jersey submerges 90 seconds after the tanker clears the area. She slips beneath the surface without a sound. No radar trace, no thermal wake, just Baltic water closing over black steel. She was there. Now she is not. And every Russian captain in the Baltic will spend the rest of his career wondering if she still is. That is why you do not break sanctions written by USA.
This is so realistic, man. I know, like, this must have happened at some level. Remove certain theatrics. It must have happened. Because Virginia class is one of the most awesome submarine there is. Right? It's really powerful. US is not like, they have like LA class, which is smaller one, but it does its own thing. Virginia is like the big, Ohio is like nuclear. That's basically part of the nuclear triad. There's supposed to be a Columbia class, but they never came to be. It would have been even more bigger. Yeah, US just goes crazy. But yeah, Virginia, so as far as we know, Virginia is like one of the best one there is. Why I say that? There must be some other type of submarine that nobody knows about, but US is still operating, just like there are aircraft. US is still operating, nobody knows about. I mean, it's underwater. Who's going to check? Besides some big countries. So there must be some other type of submarine the US didn't tell anyone. But yeah, it's just like submarine, like you want to project power, you do that through oceans. How do you do that through oceans? You have big aircraft carrier and big submarines. This is one of them. Single-handedly, one submarine can have this kind of an effect. Well, there you go. Still think America's weak? Who thinks that? Seriously, that's just stupid. You need to see this by channel Military Simply Explained. If you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.